Morning everybody. I hope you're all kept safe from the storm. Here in the UK we've been battered over the weekend with Storm Kira, and she's certainly left a mark. I know my town centre's been flooded. I've got a friend who's had a tree fell into a garden, smashed all the fencing. It's been really wild, and at the moment it's sleeting outside and the wind has calmed, which is a good thing. And touch wood, I've got no damage structurally. All I've had is my garden furniture has been thrown about and my wheelie bins have been tipped upside down. So in the grand scheme of things, it's really not a biggie. So the rest of you just stay safe. It's pretty wild still out there. Anyway, I'm just back today now to share number 2 and number 3 in my trilogy of de-stashing journals. As a few of you know, I've been hoarding lace, linens, fabrics for way too long, and I've bitten the bullet and I'm starting to use some of my stash really, and I've got lots of bits of ephemera and pieces from kits lying about, so I thought I really need to use them and make something. So I'd advise you now, if those of you who don't like lace journals, sort of either look away or turn off. These are a little OTT with lace. I've sort of put loads in, as you can see, but once I started cutting I sort of couldn't really stop. So like I said, these the two that I did film one last week and that's already been sold, but I now have these two. I'll show you Amelia first. I've named her Amelia. Just put that out of my way, I'm getting distracted. I've named her Amelia because I think the lady on the front just looks like an Amelia. These are 6x4 little hand journals, which I'm loving this size at the moment. I think it's my new favourite size. They're just so lovely to hold. And as you can see, she is quite stuffed with linens, doilies, laces. Some of it is vintage lace that I've picked up over the years from, I do sort of go to a lot of antique fairs, and when I see a piece of linen or lace I tend to pick it up and hoard it. That's it, the confessions of a lace hoarder, but I hoard it. So I have been brave and I'm cutting, but it hurts still a little, but there we go. This one has 5 signatures, 100 pages front to back. Like I said, that's the side of it. She's quite chunky when she hasn't, but they do sort of tie down, they lay quite flat then. I have said, haven't I, these are 6x4. I've just put a little lace closure on it, so I like to think you can sort of flatten them a bit. On the front I've collaged it up with a little bit of baking paper, music paper, corrugated cardboard, some more music paper, image of this beautiful vintage lady. I've just done a little butterfly die cut. There's a little Tim Holtz, them they call it assemblage things. I don't know, I ordered them ages ago and recently found them, so I thought it'd be an idea to start using them again. So I'll just quickly run through. I've got 2, so I will have to be quite quick on these. Well, just show you the back of it. Is I covered it with fabric. Underneath there was like, I'd put some wallpaper on which had music notes, which I originally was going to leave, but then I decided I wasn't. So I put some fabric over and you could still slightly see through it, which didn't look bad because it was only music notes, but then I decided to put a doily over it as well. So there you go. The front I've just done a little lace pocket, and there's a photograph of a little vintage girl in. I won't pull everything out because it just takes time, which I've also been using up some of my Tim Holtz paper packs. Another thing I've been storing. This page is just like a little collage which I've done up, put a like little butterfly, little journal. I think now some of these haven't used any specific kits in these, but they are bits of everybody's. I think there's bits from Artymaze, Antique Paperie. I can't really remember, to be truthful, what I've got throughout. A little tuck spot here where I've just put a little journaling card in. little receipt thing, which is great for journaling on the back. Some more little receipt paper. Some more Tim Holtz paper, more antique lace. Bit of French music paper, a doily. Here I've just made a little floating pocket. I won't pull it all out because it's self-explanatory. It's got a couple of little tags in, a little bit more lace. I'm afraid all you'll hear me saying throughout this video is a little bit more lace. A journaling card. I think this is a paper pad from Stamperia, and it might be Old Lace, I think it's called, but I have got quite a bit of that left. And then I ordered another one because I liked it so much, and the cycle of stashing continues. It really is a thing. I've got a couple of journaling cards here, some more writing paper. Like I said, I will flip through it quickly because it is very self-explanatory. Hope I'm in frame here, never even thought to check. Like I said, there's lots of antique lace, and some of it is new and some of it isn't. Just put a little flip there so you can sort of cover up what you're writing. This is the second signature, which starts with a little bit of a receipt. I think these are actually from Antique Paperie. I think they came in, I think they were called Distress Papers, rings the bell, but there was loads of little, I think that one is, there was loads of little sort of receipts and things, which is a nice little paper kit to use. A little envelope which has been coffee stained, and a little journaling card. Some ledger paper. I've got more fingers and thumbs there. I'm struggling a little bit with my thumb at the moment. My trigger thumb has kicked in again. I don't know if any of you have it, but some people get trigger finger, but I get trigger thumb, and apparently it's gamers that use it, and I'm really not a gamer, but every now and again my thumb locks, and especially in the morning I wake up and I can't straighten it, so it does make sometimes, and it's popping all the time, and it's quite painful. I've just been doing my exercises this morning for it, but it makes sometimes crafting a little bit painful. These are Antique Paperie, which I absolutely love, them papers. I've done a little bit of mixed media collage in here. It's just a little bit of music paper, vintage image, some lace, and on the back there's a little tuck spot, which it's falling down, which I've just used from a piece that's left from a cutout when you use a die cut, and some more writing paper. Like I said, I won't take everything out. More writing space, little tuck spot. God, it's actually really cold here today. This is a really big room, and it's always cold and drafty because I'm sat near the patio, and it gets a real draft in, so I am going to be quick flicking through this. And this is an Antique Paperie. I think these both are. Some more lace. I've just made a little tag up of a vintage lady. Just put a little bit of lace on, some trim. Little side tuck spot. A bit more lace. I won't keep saying more lace because I think it's fairly obvious there's loads of lace. Some Edith Holden. Am I on? I think this is the third signature I'm on. Here I've just put a little lace belly band, a little bit of a booklet with just some scraps for journaling on. I just think these make nice little keepsake journals, like keeping photos or christenings. I recently did an order for one of these for somebody, and the lady wanted it as a christening journal, which I thought was a lovely idea, and she wanted it all white with loads of vintage lace in, and I just thought that was a lovely present to give somebody at a christening. More journaling cards, a little antique doily made into a pocket. These are actually just now been listed in my Etsy shop, so they are both for sale if anybody's interested. More ledger paper, little paper bag, Some more Tim Holtz papers. A little, I think this was a piece of an antique placemat, which I just thought I'd made a nice little pocket. Just a couple of tags and things in there. This is the other side of the bag. Surprising, once you actually start cutting your laces, it's not as bad as you think. Just coming up to the last signature now. Another one of these little receipts, which are absolutely great for just writing a few notes on the back. I've tried to put plenty of pockets in because I know not everybody likes to write on the journals. Some people just like to tuck things in, little photographs and memories, tickets, etc. And they're brilliant for that. But I guess it's each their own how you use your journal or not, as the case may be. This, actually, once I'd cut it, I was a bit sad. It was a gorgeous piece of lace, but it has like all lace butterflies on it. And my last journal I made, I used quite a lot. I put quite a lot in it, and once I'd cut it, that was one I thought I shouldn't have done, but I did. There you go. Back page, I've just put another little lace pocket in and some more journaling cards. It said that is Amelia. And she's quite chunky, but she does tie down to wrap pretty flat. So I'll move Amelia out of the way. This one, I wanted to do a more botanical nature sort of feel to it. So this one I've just called Back to Nature. Just give them journals names, so they're just easy to list when I list them. This one again, I used some gorgeous wallpaper I picked up, and it's got, you probably won't be able to see it on camera. Sorry if you can hear that, that is hailstones, and honestly they're like the size of marbles, so they're making a bit of a noise against my patio, so I'm sorry for any background noises. Cover the spine with noises distracting me now. Antique doily. The front I've just layered up again with corrugated cardboard, a little bit of cheesecloth, an image which I think was one of the antique paperie collection, a little bit of pom-pom trim, some more green cheesecloth, and then there is various laces underneath, and of course a little butterfly. And that was another piece of that butterfly from that lace that I was just telling you about. I've just put a little bit of bling on, very inspired by Yvonne Preston. I love how she does that, her butterflies. Like I said, a lot of my inspiration for these has come from Heidi McGregor, because I just love how she used, in fact she inspired me to cut my lace up. So Heidi, it's your fault I've now chopping out all my lace, but I just love how you use your laces, and I realised they actually do look better in a journal than sat in a trunk. Front pocket is just a little doily, which I've just put some journaling cards, extra writing paper in. Another Tim Holtz paper, cardstock from a paper pack. Once again, this paper is antique papery. I'm not sure if it's called something Forest Lush or Lush Forest. I'm not quite sure. Sorry about that, but if anybody's interested, I will hunt it out. Just a little bit of writing space. Edith Holden, which I've just used a little bit of butterfly lace trim. A little top pocket, which I've put a butterfly, and I've made several little booklets throughout this from scraps. Told you I'm in a de-stashing mood and I'm trying to use everything up. Some book page. That's, yeah, I'm on the first signature. This is the same again, a little 6x4, nice hand size, 100 pages, 5 signatures. Just done a little flip out there with a doily. More writing space. A little tuck spot here with a couple of journaling cards in. Start the second signatures, the obligatory Edith Holden, whom I love. Little side tuck here where I've just got a little envelope in. Just put a little bit of bling on the side. But I did want to keep this one very sort of botanical looking and nature, and I thought it might make a lovely little journal if you're out taking nature notes, or a little garden journal, or like I say, you can always attach. I sometimes attach paper to them with paper clips even, just when I want extra writing space. A little bit more of lace, a bit of a flip, some more book page, a little journaling card I've just tucked in the side there, just made a little side pocket. Here there is a tag, I know that's from Artymaze, a spring kit. And I'm just starting on working on some sort of spring journal. I sort of feel a bit like, I don't know what, feel like I want to brighten up a little bit. So I'm just starting to work on a beautiful kit from Artymaze, foxgloves. I've just printed it up actually, and it's lovely, and I'm really chomping at the bit to get started now, so that's why I really want to finish these. Another Edith Holden paper which I've just layered some washi tape, little bit of lace, bit of, what do you call it, baking paper or parchment paper, whatever. Another little tuck spot, some journaling cards in, more ledger paper. This is from a little book of British wildflowers. And the spring at the moment seems a very long way away, and it's now starting to snow outside, so it's definitely a long way off. I love this little tag from Artymaze kit. I will list this kit because it's very spring-like, and I can't remember what it's called at the moment, but it's lovely and I love it. It's got a little fairy girl at the bottom. This is just a little doily at the bottom, which has been coffee stained, an envelope. Another little tag here I've just laid up with some lace and things. More ledger paper. Another little side tuck with another little booklet in. Some more writing space. I think these are the Tim Holtz, is it wallflower paper pad? I'm not sure, I've got loads of it knocking about. And I think this was an Artymaze dragonfly, rings a bell. Just made another little fabric tag up here using a little butterfly, some cheesecloth. Here I've just got a little side pocket. I'm going up to 18 minutes on this. A couple of little tags in, some lace, some more lace trimmed ledger paper with some bling on. Another little pocket with a couple of tags. That's from the Ferns and Mushrooms kit from Artymaze, which I absolutely love as well. I also think it's nice revisiting your old kits at a certain time of the year, and sort of dying to get working now on stuff like that. Some of it from vellum. These I do know are antique paper, and I love them. I think they're called something in moths, but I really love these. They've just got little bees and really large moths on, and they're just lovely. Little inventory tag which I've just put a butterfly die cut on, a little bit of lace as a belly band, some more music paper, another tag using that. I didn't put anything else on because I just didn't feel as though I need it. I think on the back I've just made it into like a floating tag, and there's some little bit of journaling cards on the back. Like I said, a lot of this is just bits I've had knocking about, which excuse me, I'm just trying to get rid of really. Yeah, I think that's definitely the Artymaze Dragonflies, which is another beautiful kit I loved working with. Just up to the last signature now, which I've used some of that wallpaper, which I thought looked very spring and nature-like. Just laid it up with some antique lace, little butterflies, some bling. Just done a little bit of collage on here using that moth paper and some music paper, a little bit of journaling card, another one of these antique doilies, which I've just got a couple of tags in. I said I'm coming near the end of it now, so I know it's been quite a long-winded video. Some, is that Tim Holtz, think it is, from the Wallflower paper pad. A bit more writing space, book paper. Like I said, they are very nature themed, this one especially. A little daisy, and last page is just a little bit of a collage, using bits of scraps up and a little bits of old lace. And that's the Back to Nature. So that's these two finished finally. They, like I said, nice and lace filled. They have been listed now in my Etsy shop, so that's them finished destashing. And has it touched any of my stash? Not really, I've still got loads of stuff to use, but I guess destashing is an ongoing process. Right, I think I've kept you all a bit too long today. Thank you for watching, and those of you in the UK, try and stay safe in the storm, and thank you for watching. Catch you again up soon, bye.